Hey, doggy. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my kitchen studio chow line. Let me make sure I'm in the rightful place. Yes, I am in the rightful place. If you've never been here before, I thought I just silenced it. If you've never been here before, I am Lisa, and I am kind of low. There we go. I am Lisa, your favorite Tupper pal, and you have just walked into your bowl connection. Those of you that, if you don't know me, I wing things. Mama sent me home with some eggplant that was almost going bad. So I decided I would go ahead and Google a recipe. And now, I Googled a recipe. I had made this before, but I made it before kind of almost in a casserole version. Kind of almost like a lasagna. It is called Eggplant Moussaka, and what I am going to do is I'm of course going to wing this. I'm tweaking it like I normally do. It does require that we need to boil our eggplant. So instead of boiling it on the stove, I am going to kind of multitask. I'm going to do my ground meat on the stove, and I'm going to do my eggplant in the stack cooker in the microwave. So to get started, I need to go ahead and I'm going to be cubing my eggplant up. So we'll get that started. And you do cook, you use the peelings. I'm just going to be cutting off the bad portions. And that'll go, of course, to the ducks. Anything that's brown I'm taking off, really. As far as on the eggplant itself. But the recipe calls for 2 medium-sized eggplants. And if you're going to do it the way the recipe calls for it, then you're going to slice them longwise and make thin sheets with it, basically, because that'll be like your lasagna pieces. But we're not doing it that way. We are doing it my way. See, that one for that part. It's gonna microwave. We're gonna put it in the microwave for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that'll give me enough time to go ahead and get my ground meat ready. I've said it once before, if y'all haven't popped in before, Bubba says that I would not be able to carry on a conversation if I couldn't use my hands, and it's starting to be true to form, because whenever I'm cooking and my hands are busy, I am quiet. So I just want to make sure you know I am not ignoring you. I am focused. Bubba is working tonight, but I wanted to make sure that I had something that we would be able to eat on tomorrow. So it'll be my dinner, but it's also going to be for us tomorrow. And I'm actually using the equivalent of 1.5 eggplants here. I took the ones that were the most closest to the end of its life. to be able to make this recipe. So. Now we're gonna basically boil it in the stack cooker, not steam it. So I have it, the 3/4 bowl filled about halfway full with water. Now the stack cooker will do the same that the pasta cooker will do. It will boil over if it's covered, so we are going to stick it in the microwave uncovered for it to boil. I may only need 2. If you're just popping on, go ahead and let me know in the comments where you're watching me from. It's always good to know what area I'm reaching. I'd like to know if I'm local, if it's out of state, if you're in another country. I know most of y'all are probably just getting home from work. Guys, it looks like I only need the 2 that it says that I needed. Let me go ahead and toss this one back in the fridge. Looks like y'all will get another recipe from me where eggplant is concerned. And we'll toss these away. Okay, this is going to go in the microwave. The recipe say on the stove 5 to 10 minutes on a boil. I've got it 6 minutes in the microwave. Now, the next part, I don't want to have to turn my back to you, but I'm going to have to. Alright, I've got about 2 pounds of ground meat. It's deer ground, our own deer. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and brown this ground meat. I might have to shift y'all over. Now, I could have done this in the microwave, made it a whole lot easier. It still would have been a 12-minute, but I think doing it, multitasking is the way I need to be. I am going to shift y'all this way. That way I don't feel so bad. You won't see me, but you'll see what I'm doing. So I'm breaking up my ground meat. I've had it defrosted all afternoon. So we're breaking up the ground meat. And I'm going to go ahead and season it with my usual staples, okay? My Tonies, my garlic, my onion. And I'm not adding any onions in here as I brown it because I'm using my own stewed tomatoes, which has the onions in it. So here, starting off with our Tonies, and I don't measure anything. Then my onion. Then my garlic. This recipe bakes at a 400 degrees for 30 minutes. Now, one good thing I like about our own ground meat is it really doesn't kick off that much fat, because we use I think Bubba uses a 80-20 mix. So it's 80% of our deer meat with 20% pork fat. And if you're curious about the pot that I'm using our Chef Series pot. It's one of the pieces that I earned within my first year of being in Tupperware. So I managed to earn a whole 7-piece set, and it's like taken over. I don't use my Magnolites anymore unless I'm cooking outside. And then if I'm cooking outside, it's either going to be a gumbo, or I'm smothering okra, or making chili. But so we're going to keep getting this brown, and then I'll check my eggplant because I have 2 minutes left. Once we get the meat browned up, then we'll be adding our tomatoes. You would think it was almost like taco meat. I guess it could be considered your taco, but once I add my tomatoes, then I'll be adding some oregano, which changes the recipe from a Mexican to an Italian. It really is kind of hard to figure out exactly what kind of recipe to make with eggplant. You know, you can only eat it so many different ways. And of course, I didn't want to make one in a fried eggplant. Alright, so we're almost brown here. And then I'm like burning myself with my bracelet. If you're wondering how much tomatoes, this is how much tomatoes. And this is actually fresh. This is what we did just the other day. So I'm going to pour my tomatoes in here. This is a batch that, of course, Bubba did, and it's like chunky. And then we will add, believe it or not, a dash of cinnamon. I did a couple shakes. And then we are going to add oregano. Now the recipe called for a 1/4 teaspoon. Yep, that's a 1/4. It smells delicious in here, guys. So I'm going to lower this fire. And then I'm going to go get the eggplant. So let that cook in a little bit. If you notice, I didn't drain anything. I don't want to drain anything. it back in. I had only put it in for 5 minutes, and it wasn't enough. I gave it a quick stir, and I put it back in for 6 minutes, which will allow this, the ground meat to evaporate a little bit and get these bell peppers and onions a little tender. I will have to shift the camera here. Now, I am using a toaster oven, so I get to play with my new little Ultra Pro pan here that fits perfectly. It's going to be in a layered format, but it's not going to be layered until I've got my eggplant out of the microwave. Oh, there we go. So let's chat a minute. What kind of garden do you grow? What kind of recipes do you make? Let me know in the comments. I see somebody's watching. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. If you'd like this recipe, go ahead and comment recipe, and I will get it to you in your inbox. We're in July. Y'all, Christmas is like in 6 months. And if y'all haven't done Christmas shopping, I posted something this morning about Tup Stash Bash. You can go ahead and take advantage of all your Christmas shopping in one big old bulk box for $99 plus tax and shipping. This is out of my Tup Stash, so that way I can make room for upcoming merchandise. You'll want to stay connected to me for the upcoming merchandise. Ah. Alright, so I got 3 more minutes on my eggplants. At this point, there's really nothing I can do except talk to you. And then try to figure out what to talk to you about. Oh yeah, back to school. Did you know that you can actually color code your kids' meals? Yep. We have the lunch containers, or the snack containers, because it's kind of like a personalized Lunchable. Yeah. Personalized Lunchable, or, like for a teacher, it could be those energy packs, those, what is it, a P3 energy pack, where you have the nuts and the raisins, the grapes, fruits, and cheeses. That, along with the Ideal Little Bowl. Like, I have one here, Ideal Little Bowl, but what's on sale right now is a coral and a green and a really bold blue. Very pretty blue. Then you also have Tupper Minis that attach to it, and an eco water bottle, a medium water bottle. Alright, let me go and check on my eggplant. Alright, I think we're ready there. Okay. And we're ready here. So, let's see how I'm going to play with this. I'm going to shift my handle this way. I am going to put my pan here. I am going to put that there. I'm using my scoop and drain, but now I do have another part of the recipe to do. It's going to take some melted butter, so I got to put melted butter. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in my micro pitcher here in the microwave. Alright, now the recipe calls for one layer of eggplant. So I'm using the scoop and drain to layer it out. So that way you have some in every bite. Alright, then you're going to take your ground meat. Whoops, there goes my butter. Alright, let me get back to the recipe. Okay, now I needed 2 tablespoons of flour. Put that with the 2 tablespoons of butter. We're going to whisk that together. And then add 1 cup of milk. We are making a cheese sauce. Alright, I got to put this in the microwave for a couple of minutes. And then we can go ahead and put our meat. The handle is really, it's just warm, it's not hot. But you would definitely want to make sure that you use a glove. Alright, then we're going to put some more eggplant. Now I'm winging this, so the actual recipe would have been for, you know, like a lasagna pan, 9 by 13, and in slices, not chunks. I'm chunking it. And I'm using the rest of this, and we will see how it works. Alright, get this out of the way. Now we're going to go ahead and add the cheese. It don't say. Oh, it calls for 2.5 cups of shredded cheese. This is the shredded cheese I had from the other day. This is all that I have. That's all that I'm using. And we will melt this off in the microwave. It's actually melted just in here. Okay. Now we got to put the rest of our meat on top. I might have to use my scooping drum. Because I don't want all the extra juice, really. Because I got to be able to pour this cheese sauce on top. Y'all, if this turns out good, I'll be good. I'll be taking pictures here in a minute. Oh, shit. Alright. Now, we have to take a beaten egg, 2 eggs. I'm using the quick shake to slightly beat it. And of course it goes in. Nothing goes into your cheese mixture. Mix that up. And then we take it and we pour it over our meat. And then this will actually bake at 400 for 30 minutes. And what I'm doing is I'm pushing the sides down so that way the cheese sauce can get to the very bottom. And I'm using my spatula to catch it. It may or may not overflow, but we will know for the next time, won't we? Alright, let me take my picture. There you go, say cheese. And I am going to stick it in the toaster oven, and once it is done, 30 minutes, I will go ahead and snap some more pictures and send it your way. Again, I'm Lisa, I'm your Taco Pal, and you have just visited your bowl connection. If you want the recipe, go ahead and comment recipe on this particular video. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good night.